Hello, everybody. One video here, live again for the group I'm Twin Flame. Uh, I made a pause today, and I made a decision that's going up today, which is I was advised to do it. You know how it goes. So, waiting for you guys to come in here for the questions that you guys have. Um, there's a lot of new things going on. You will find that the separation. Hi, Carol. You will find that the separation it's on purpose. You're welcome, Carol. The purpose of purification. So it's separation for purification. You gotta remove the stuff inside of you. You gotta get the things out of it. And what I find out that a lot of the people also have a lot of depressions. Um, Let me see how I get to the chart. Uh, Hi, Kalinda or Salinda. I don't know how it's pronounced properly. Um, to finish it up, it's this purification has got its own purpose inside of you. You to get out of the obsession. You to get out of the need. You to get out of sometimes with even the desire that your partner has to do certain things. Hi, Marita. Um, Even your partner that you think they have to do what they have to do. They got their own things. They got their own life. They got their own time. They have things that they have to do, not specifically attached to you. They don't have to be attached to you. They have their own thing. What you have to do is your common thing. Work on your common thing. Um, Another thing that is coming up is the what's so called the repeating cycles. The cycles they are like going on over the same thing. Um, Happy that you feel the changes, Carol. Um, the repeating cycles, those they are like a nightmare because you're trying to resolve the same situations over and over and over, and they don't. It's basically you and your partner facing your limitations. What I mean by, sorry, I just woke up. Mm, And I didn't get that question, Carol. Give me a 1 second. First way was right. Ironic cell love has been amazing. Decluttering attachments and codependency, building my happy place and learning to say no have been revolutionary for me. I'm a whole for the first time ever done. I just turned 49. Pretty incredible. Yes, it's an incredible. It's an incredible. So things is gonna be getting even better over the road when this so-called purification comes up. The purifications also it's yes, it's good to go by on the codependency. Yes, because that way your partner doesn't feel good. Also, you don't feel good either. You feel like you depend on them. You're like a little kid. They're just waiting for the food instead of get up and making your own food. Um, let's talking about this repeating cycles. Those repeating cycles, they are your limitations. So when you get to those limitations, you sense them, and then the situations repeating. Hi, Sharona. Um, when those cycles begin to repeat, you begin to learn what the limitations is the very first time. Then the next time when you go to this repeating cycle limitation, then you already know where you were, so you will continue from the next one with that limitations. Uh, so, so this is like a exploring labyrinth. You explore a little bit of peace. You explore a little bit of place of this labyrinth, and then all of a sudden, next time you go, you already know how to navigate through it. So the most important part to learn of those repeating cycles is that you have to break them. And what I mean by breaking the repeating cycles uh, is when you did something and the next time, whatever you did, the situation is repeating itself, you have to do the totally opposite until you take the proper actions to resolve the situation. Most of this part they will be connected with configurations within the 3D about your union. And what I mean, it's for example, if you have to buy a house, giving you just a heads up in here, you will continue to repeat the cycle that doesn't happen for some reason. Why? Because you're not ready, or something is not ready, something has not been done. And you go back into the purification and then you go back into it. It's like you're trying to win a gold medal, but you're not enough trained yet to understand what it's mean a perfect relationship. And between those two, separation for purification and repeating cycles, a lot of the people hanging up in there. They hanging up, and a lot of the people are looking at to uh, see how they can get out of it. Well, congratulations, Carol. Um, and what else I wanted to talk about is the depressions based of the obsessions. Those depressions on the base of the obsession is like, I can't live with him, I can't live without, and they go into yes, Sharona, the insanity part, doing the same thing over and over. But it's not easy to breaking patterns from places you never been to. This is like you going into the darkness. You don't know even where you are. You never been at this kind of positions of soul evolutions like before. So you can't take the proper actions. It's very different when you walk into uh, a life that you know. It's totally different than you walking into the last stages of a union where you have things that happen on multiple levels, and when this thing happens, you're gonna feel like things are kind of like mixed up, but all of a sudden when they are mixed up, they kind of organize itself. So you're gonna feel more like the universe, which is this organized chaos, a chaos that you feel like the things are completely different. Things are completely going on that. So those are kind of like a pretty much the new things. The only thing it is if you're in depression for your twin flame, or you're in a depression of any kind, seek the reason for the depression. What's the cause? What is the cause for this depression? Because it's not worth it you to be depressed. You're not helping anybody with the depression. First of all, you don't help yourself. Second of all, you don't help anyone around you. That could be your kids. Um, that could be uh, your parents, your coworkers, everyone around you. And the depression is not a funny thing because a lot of the people from the depressions they go deep, deep to withdraw, and they withdraw from life, and that's the time when you hit the bottom of your own things, and there is no one can help you except you help yourself. And I see that a few people they have problems with when they hit the bottom, they can't get up. And that is the moment you gotta focus on yourself, focus on your soul to get up. To get up when it's impossible to get up. And that's how you become a strong soul, not because of anything else. Solid. So, you guys can ask me so many questions right now. If kind of like did my intro speech with a little bit of info. So you guys, if you want it, you can write me some questions. Why the feminine endures the most? Um, depends of what do you. Hi, Christina. It depends of what you define as far as the feminine. Just to remind you that the feminine exists in both sides. It exists in the male, it exists in the female. So, but why is that? It is because um, the feminine is it's got a one thing that the masculine then doesn't. It's the intuition and the compassion. Also, for example, um, a little thing out here. A lot of the females they feel like the man does not appreciate the homework they do. And, for example, washing the dishes, doing the laundry, or doing the homework. And that is where the feminine energy is there in the man to feel the appreciation what the woman does. The woman when I wash the dishes. There is a woman that is different when she wash the dishes when she's kind of like moody and angry. There is a huge difference when a woman washing the dishes and she's in love. When she's in love, the man feels that love and feels the love of care that comes from the woman inside. And no, most of the women, they need someone to tell them, I appreciate what you do, I appreciate all the care. And that's why the feminine is the one that feels the vibes, feels the vibrations, compared to the masculine that the masculine it's more about to provide the energy, the force. And sometimes the feminine creates the emotions, but it's also the feminine, it's the one who creates the vibes within. So, hi, Jose. It is normal to feel at peace without your twin flame. Yes, it is. It's normal because you seek the peace inside of your soul. Um, um, to truly feel like you don't need them in your life, but your soul sits down, wishes they were present. The wish of the present, yes, but see, in order you to find the inner peace with them, Jose. First of all, you have to find the peace inside of you. Whatever you seek in them, first you have to seek in you. Because if you don't understand it, what that is, you will not be able to recognize it. You know, your soul, it's kind of like give you a heads up about what's coming, what the things are, what it needs to be worked. They can be create some situations where you will be forced into these positions. Uh, there will be a situations where your connection will be tested, not only one time, multiple times, just to see on what you need to work on it, what you need to get into it. There could be a situation where you know you were supposed to reacting mad like in the past situations. Now you don't, and all of a sudden you feel where that comes from, Jose, and that comes from the soul. When the soul is in peace, the soul understands the situation from soul point of lifestyle compared to how the ego sees the situation compared to the ego-based lifestyle. For example, if the woman is late and you're gonna be without even asking her when she comes home, you where have you been? I've been waiting for you all this time. Compared to whatever the soul will see is like, hey, what happened? You need help? What's going on? She will tell you. Um, that's why this inner peace, it has to work first inside of you, and it's normal. And I'm glad that you have it, Jose. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Jessica. How can I remain present with myself when I'm triggered by divine masculine? These emotions make me disconnect to explode. You can remain present in yourself. Depends what Jessica. Depends what you call in yourself. On what dimensions is. So to remain present is in yourself. It's you to have really good connection with the reality, not to kind of like bolt out. And a lot of the people go to what it's called the imaginary world, and from the imaginary world they create expectations. They create a lot of things instead of focusing to the reality. The reality is like your twin flame is with you. They will talk to you. They will want with you. They want to be with you. They're gonna do it, the things with you, even if something goes wrong. They will understand it, not like before. It's completely different relationship that it's based of that in peace. Um, and you gotta be careful to stay in this reality. You need to go ahead and ground yourself. Learn to use the ground techniques. Those ground techniques, they're you can go or walk barefoot, or you can take a shower, go out in the nature, and so on. And the emotions come from ego. Focus into the vibrations. So, E, hi, how are you? Uh, Hey Dio, I've let go, and after a long moment of silence and no genetic links about diagnosed cancer, I wonder if he will feel the pain of the physic changes. Um, some people do feel, some don't. It all depends on it, because sometimes what happens is the vibrations of the sickness can travel from the one to the other. And kind of, I kind of like spoke with Sherry and Lee when they were here in Chicago. We talked about a little bit of those vibrations with those two. Even a month ago, I talked about it. So you have to be very careful during this stuff. We don't know if the vibrations can be copied from the one person to another, such as using the mirroring neurons. The mirror neurons can are copying the information from the one to another, and that usually happens doing through the eye contact. So you got to be kind of like very careful, and you don't know if he feels it. If he talks to you, you won't know. If you don't talk to him, then you will never know about it. You can only guess, but the guesses has nothing to do with the reality. So focus on you. Oh, let's see. Um, excuse me for a second. I need to do something up here. Um, I need to answer this. Um, okay. So is the twin flame and the catalyst for a self-love journey one the same? Catalyst is only has one purpose to wake you up. He's a catalyst. He just opens the energies. He shows you the road. For some of you, I am a catalyst to you guys. I just wake you up or give you kind of like a, uh, it's all good, baby. And mhm, uh, it's all good when you get the right text messages. So you have to answer, doesn't matter what. Uh, yeah, the smell is different, the energy is different, but the right person walks in and sends you the right messages, right? You know what I'm talking about. So to go back uh, into about a catalyst and a twin flame, the catalyst can run away because they don't want attachments. The catalyst can really says, "Listen, stay away from me. I can't give you what you seek. I don't want you to be with me." And that's what the part of the catalyst is. Compared to the twin flames, they're connected with the universe, and the universe tells them, "You guys have belonged to each other." And when the universe tells them, "You guys have belonged to each other," then the both units will know about. And that is the huge difference within the twin flames, that the catalyst is it's energized. It creates environment, it provides the energy, the knowledge and the information, and you get it out there. Compared to the twin flame, once it gets you, that the twin flame understands you, even if you are not present there, even if you are not in the right place in there. Okay, I hope that helps out. High face for days. We both have been sensing anxiety and a separation that hasn't happened yet, but we know it's coming because there is a thing to both we have to do in order to make your union more permanent. Um, Here is the one thing about separation. There is no really separation. It's very important during this period, you guys to have a communications uh, to you to help him to face the challenges, he to help you to face the challenges, because the challenges they're gonna be exact the same. just from different point of view. And the separation is for these purifications that it's coming up to you guys. I mean, you're gonna purify everything you can imagine. Sometimes you're gonna feel like, oh, holy crap, like, I mean, they took everything out away from me. I'm just feel like I'm an angel. And some of you will feel this, but again, you gotta understand the separation. It's for the purpose of purifications, and to go ahead and help you to develop the power of love, to be more stronger, to be more powerful. It's different when you build a plant a tree. If you compare it to the love, if you plant a tree like um, a huge, humongous tree that's gonna live for forever, it's different if you go ahead and you plant a one tomato plant and then the seasons pass by and then guess what? You have to redo it again and again and again. That's what the learning is. You to understand that there is a love you need to build, but there is a things that you need to evolve. Uh, let's see. Do the divine masculine have to confess transgressions for union to occur? Carol, the divine masculine, divine feminine, they have to do one thing, what it's called the naked talk. And what I mean about the naked talk, I'm talking about the positions of you tell absolutely everything to the person on the front of you. It doesn't matter how bad it is, how embarrassing it is, what the situation was, what the things that happened, what was your state. Because if you don't make the mistakes, if you didn't make the bad things in life, how would you learn what the good is? If you didn't did the good things and the people hurt you, you will not understand what the bad, good, and the bad is. To remind you about the twin flames, that the twin flames at some point they stop seeing the good and the bad. They see them both at the same time, and they choose right, where it's the part of connections within the soul. We're talking about the righteousness. See, the righteousness is different than the good and the bad. On itself, the righteousness can use either the good or the bad energy, depends of the case, the situation, but it's the right thing. It's very easy to judge. It's very hard to make the right choice. But what choice? We're talking about choice from positions of assault, and that's why you can't just says it is about the divine feminine or divine masculine. You create separation. You create our duality. You got to understand you can't have union if you have duality, and that's why it is this part of creations that it's made it so the things can be so like this. Yes, confession is good from both, not only divine masculine, but also from the divine feminine, because right there, this confession shows the compassion, though, shows the connections, shows the understanding. But understanding in the soul. See, a lot of people, even when they're married, they're missing the part of understanding in the soul. And that understanding in the soul is actually what you're living for. Somewhere to love you, to understand you, to work with you, but with understanding in the soul. That way you feel complete. You feel alive. That way, when you're with your twin flame, you feel the breathing of the soul. See, the breathing of the soul, it's the soul, it's breathed with the energy from the universe. The energy from the universe, it's the oxygen for the soul. And a lot of the people asking you how that goes. So that goes pretty darn amazing. The only thing it is a lot of the people don't trust on the universe. A lot of people They go into their own vision of what it is, what it needs to be, how it needs to be. They follow their own path. Well, there is a path of yours, but there is a path of destiny within the universe, and that's what a lot of the people, even when they try to do things, things don't happen, and they ask why. Well, this is why, because you're reinventing the wheel. You can't reinvent the wheel. The wheel is wheel. That's how it goes. That's how the things are. Hi, Sarah. You're welcome. Uh, let's see another question. Uh, we met for Ace. We met in separation, different country. I need space to focus on me, but he won't block me or make a clean break. We were hardly. Why you want to block a clean break? You don't need to, even if you guys are in a different countries. That doesn't mean anything. Pretty much, you're gonna be purified when you're in two different countries. You're gonna be purified to the point that you're not gonna stand anymore this physical separation, and then you're gonna break this limitation of space, and you're gonna organize a plan of putting the lives together. One of the biggest cycle that repeating cycle that I was talking about in this kind of case will be repeat the cycle of union, because you have a physical your uh, visions of what it needs to be. Those visions were given to you, but if you twist them, you're reinventing the wheel. So you have to twist them. You just have to allow them to happen on their own, and then all of a sudden the things will happen. You can't just go ahead and do things. When two people from two different countries they try to put their life together, they have a few choices. I talked about this long time ago. If, for example, there was a situations that between different religions, and we're talking about one of the hot spots in the world. We're talking about, like, for example, between Arab and a Jew, or we're talking about between Hindu and Muslim, Zealot, or between Christian and Muslim. But see what happens is it's very interesting that all of a sudden all of them they learn the path of the soul, and they ask me, Dio, what should we do as an advice? Go choose a country that nobody knows you, nobody gets what the heck is going on. You're gonna have and live a life as you are building with the person you love and a soul, and you're gonna have the new beginning that you always seek into it. But disconnection or blocking or things, what it does is he has to understand that it's gotta give you a freedom. Uh, she to call you or he to call you when it has to, and kind of like having know your daily routine. You will establish a communication when you're gonna talk. Sometimes even 5 minutes talk are better than no talk at all. But during to this process, you will feel and you will understand um, that you have to give freedom first to them, but also you have to give freedom to yourself, and you're gonna cure the obsession. See, the obsession part is that you want to talk to them all the time, anytime, every time, and there's gonna be some things that you can talk with them, and every time they have a job, they have a life, they have a kids, and so on and so on. And I will suggest you never cut communications. If you cut communications, that's probably not your twin flame. Hi, Dora. Sarah Talley. I'm currently underdog of Dark Night of the Soul, massive Kundalini activation, seeking the rainbow shouting out of my head, and my heart feels like a cannonball when I threw it. So grateful for this community. Sarah, you're in a very good position. Um, it's a very good things that goes on. And if you feel like this, Sarah, I'm happy for you. But just so you know, all these high vibrations that comes in to reach to the higher state. The higher state, it's the peace and the soul. A lot of the people think like, I have to be constantly on these high vibrations. I have to be constantly in this amazing bubble. I have to be constantly on this and that. That is just a stage. When you get into the peace of the soul, you just have to think about the love and the higher vibrations, and they come in. You use them when you need to. When you have this inner peace in the soul, you can feel the other person. You can tell them exactly what they need to hear, but you also can give them the vibrations they need so they can heal. You can do an amazing stuff. You can understand your kids in totally different position. You can perform better a job because you would understand what kind of part of the chain you are at your company or the place that you work. You will understand much better in life what the things are go on to. So there is a things that you have to look more and more and more. Um, okay. Um, let's see if I missed some of the stuff of it because the chat goes too fast. Okay. Hi, Dora. Hi, Rupali. Um, nice that your twin flame has. Um, Hi, dear. I'm detaching. I'm leaving my job of 4 years as a work with TF. Find difficult, and he has been married for 31 years. As I said that we won't be together. Any advice with still longing? When you made a decision to get out of the work after 4 years, uh, that is huge. You're gonna missing the longing because you invest so much love that you never get back. I'm assuming that is the case because uh, um, I'm assuming that is the case because 4 years you've been the twin flame and never nothing happened. Okay, and he's not divorcing, he's not moving, he's not getting to the place. You have to move on. How you gonna deal with the longing? The longing is the part of the missed opportunity. So if you have to work on yourself, look at that missed opportunity. Looked at that 4 years was not a waste of time for you, but that 4 years is you learned the proper way of love. And my personal suggestion is instead of focus of him and the whole situation and what went wrong and what went right, that's going to drag you back into the past, and the past is going to create the longing. Okay, let it go of the past and focus up. Okay, what I mean focus up to the universe. Allow the universe to go ahead and create that new life. Maybe you're gonna meet another person. Maybe he wasn't the right person. Because if he was the right person, he will create the right actions to happen. The things could have been solved out. The things could be created, but things didn't happen. Or especially if he's silent. If he went silent, from silent uh, to aggravating when he's around you and so on, then it doesn't make sense. Um, Now about the job, you will find another job, Adam, soon. It is good to get away from the environment because of the energy that it's there stays there. That energy between you, it's always gonna be there. Don't long for that energy though, because that energy, it's grief, and you're gonna feel the grief, and the grief is love that has no place to go, and that's what the grief is. Don't stay in the grieving state because the grieving state doesn't help you at all. You can grieve for years and years and years. What you need to do is let it go of the universe. Let the universe to show you the next step. Let the universe connect with you and the soul, show you the next part, the next path of life, the next things. But you have to learn to let it go of the past. You have to trust of what's going on as a process now, and you have to surrender to the future that comes in. You have to be flexible. You have to be like flexible, like a liquid. Okay, you don't have to be like a wood that it's not flexible, just stays in the one spot and decides like, it's him, or her. Okay, the universe wants to make you flexible, wants to make you like the plasma, inside of the sun. That's what you need to be. You have to be able to flex, to adjust, to adapt, because the adjustment and adaptations are the part of the evolution process. So I hope this kind of like help you out with those nuggets. Um, let's see. Uh, uh, I hope I don't miss someone. Justin Marie, I feel my TF and I have get together to make our energy stronger for a huge mission we have. I want to contact him and see what happens. I don't want him to think I'm chasing him because I'm not. What to do? You can just simply text him and say, hey, how the things are. Um, do you mind just to have a little chat? But not like, you know, I miss you, I love you, I want you. That's chasing. But just check that out, how they are and what's going on in their life. You can do this. Um, okay. Hello. How the divine talks to the runner after the chase is finally let go. Um, Natalia, you don't know what the universe says to the runner. The runners, they're running not from you, they're running from themselves. They're running in the fear. They have the fear inside of them. That's what they run. They run uh, um, from their responsibilities. They run from what they feel inside. The runner runs from uh, that maybe physical appearance is not the right one. The runner can run from material point of view, like look at me, I don't have a lot of job, I don't have a lot of things. The runner can run from the age gap. Oh, I'm too old, or I can't perform. A lot of the men have issues with the demisexuality. That's kind of heavy to fix, but it's not impossible. With a lot of love, everything can be fixed. So you don't know what the universe can talk to the runner. Most of the time, the runner doesn't hear the universe. Most of the time, the runner hears the society, what it's right. They don't. They want their own agenda. Sometimes it's hard with them to even predict what's going on within. That's why a lot of the runners they don't come out and share the stuff of what's going on inside of them, because most of the time it's attached to a shame, and they feel shameful. That's why they're running, and they not usually people who run they not want to come back to you and share the things. And that's is not a twin flame. I'm sorry, but the twin flame wants to share the good, the bad, and the ugly. They want to share everything. They want to by sharing, they helping each other, and they understand this magical part of the coin. You know, the coin, it has two faces, one face this way, one face that way, but the coin is the same. And they understand what they need to do, how they need to look, and everything in the world of two opposite directions, but to go back and see the same situations that they're in, and they're together fixing it, not by using the good and the bad, but using the right, the righteousness. And that's what creates that twin flame partnership, almost as if perfect. If you're in that state, like you will have nothing to fix in your relationship and everything is perfect, it's gonna get boring. There's always gotta be something that needs to be done. Otherwise, evolution will stop. You're like, okay, well, I got done. Now, what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna sit in the sky and watching others. No. So don't think that once you get with your twin flame, everything is gonna be butter and honey and a piece of bread. All right. There is always gonna be some stuff they need to do because you need to bring the 5D understanding into the 3D realm. If you think that it's easy, I don't think so. Most of the people have a challenge to understand high level of conscious into the 3D world. So that's about it. Let's see if there's any other questions. Hi, baby. Our communication style is our greater obstacles. The communications are communications. You either have them or you don't. Self-made relations with someone else, uh, soulmate relation with someone else, twin flame. Uh, it's kind of like a different because you can't really know who is your twin flame. Um, you don't know who is your twin flame. Uh, trying here to answer to a chat, but I can't. I don't know why. But anyway, somebody sent me a three hearts, and I send the three hearts back. Okay. Little distractions in here, you know. There is a difference when you know a soulmates. Soulmates, that could be your TF group, people who you talk to, people who you trust to. Soulmates is the people who comes around you and they are always there just to help you out. Twin flame is your connection in the universe that comes for a higher purpose. You need to understand that twin flames doesn't just come in and decide like, hey, we're gonna hop to the earth and we're gonna head out there and we're gonna make the world beautiful. They know how hard it is, and that's why the twin flames have a very, very strong souls, very strong soul powers. They're capable to overcome absolutely everything because they understand they're not in the control, but they have the power of reacting with righteousness in the situations. And this is why it makes them so strong as far as a soul connection, as far as the soul, it's so strong because of that. Because of that part, that unification first with universe and the universe that unifies them. A lot of the people cannot get to this level because they're not really get off into it. As I said, you know, you never know who's your twin flame. The only way you know your twin flame is by your actions, by their actions, which is they are the same actions. And one thing, accepting and understanding the responsibility that you have through the world, because you came here to do something for this world. Um, to remind you, there is a lot of karma that needs to be solved. We're talking about family karma, city karma, country karma, um, continent karma, earth karma, solar system karma, name it. It's not only one thing. And the other thing is, twin flames understand they don't live in a city, they don't live in a house, they live in the universe. This is their home. The universe is their home, not the material things. Yes, they need the material things. Yes, they want to get things going. Yes, they want to have a family and so on, like everybody else. The twin flames have a 3D life. But what is the most important for them? It is to get that high level of a 5D uh, connection of understanding of how the things are up there to bring them down here. And that is the most challenged part that the most people see is how to bring them down here, how to make the life on earth better. What that is. Okay, let's see. Any other questions? Dio, do you think that majority are having catalyst and not real twin flame connection? Um, I can say that kind of like not really confident, but I've been seeing some things that people think that they are twin flames and they're not. Um, we've been catching like a lot of people who they think they're in the twin flame. See, the twin flame comes in when you are in a higher state. So, for example, a lot of the twin flames they're living into a 4D, which is the duality, and they have a inner fights there. And that duality, it's he's my twin flame. Into the 4D, a lot of the people they go and they like, I need astrology reading. I want to make sure he's my twin flame. When I hear, I want to make sure that means you haven't find out who you really are because you're not sure who you are first in yourself. See, the twin flames, they know when they meet, they might meet through a certain soulmates, they might be meet through wherever the situation is. The universe can create the craziest situations in the world so you two can meet. I gotta tell you that I see some stuff that's far, far away from ordinary. Um, so to go back to this part is the twin flames, uh, they create action. They understand if there is no actions, is no point of do things. There is no point to do things. Same thing like the religion, for example. The religions are doing, you have to do good, you have to help, you have to be in love, and so on. You have to be the right person. How many of the people get those actions and apply to it? That is a totally different question. If the religions were so good and so great and they were calling for the same things over and over, why did the world is not a better place? Well, the religions, what they do is they create separation. You separate on different fractions. When you separate on different fractions, they know unification. If it's no unification, guess what? Nothing happens. And that is the part of the twin flames, that the twin flame understand all that, and they don't attach themselves to certain religions and certain point of views. Um, so yeah, the most of the people are basically in a soul relationship. I don't want to determine it if it's a twin flame or not, because see, the relationship can involve. The relationship is built by the two individuals. It's not built just by the one. the one to go and push it all the time, to push for like, hey, call me, hey, um, listen, you can find a 5 times for me. When they find a time for you, they'll find a time for you. And that is the freedom. That is the part you to trust and the connection, not to go and have this craziness inside. A lot of the people that connect to me, they go in depressions because of, oh, my twin flame doesn't call me, my twin flame doesn't do. They got a different things inside of their stuff they need to do. You don't have to be all the time attached to them, because when you attach all the time to them, you're suffocating them, and they feel that, and they don't want to be suffocated. They didn't come to join you to be again suffocated like they were suffocated in their marriage. They came to join you because they wanted to be free. They wanted to be that bird out of the cage when it comes back. She doesn't want to go back to the cage, but she wants to go back into the house with you. A lot of the twin flames facing the fear of, is this going to be my right relationship? There is a lot of fears that needs to be overcome. So, did the most people are in a soul relationships compared to a twin flame? Yes. What about work? Is there is every twin missions to help others to become some kind of spiritual teacher? You don't have to be a spiritual teacher. Interview. I want to give you a one movie. Actually, I want to give you a one movie to all of you. I want you to go ahead and find the very first movie, Tinkerbell. There is a series, the very first one. And the very first one, it shows up how the universe bring her into the world of the Tinker Fairies, and how they placing a stuff in front of her so she can find her talent. And the queen, she asked the queen, how will know which one is my talent? And she said, you will know, you will glow the most. So when she's passing the most unpleasant tool, which is the hammer glows. And when she picks it by the hand, but with the hand, it glows the best. Well, that glowing, when you see your twin flame, when you see the glow, the stuff of the out of the during awakening, you will know what you need to become. You can become. You don't have to become a spiritual teacher. You can become a greatest on the positions of who you are. You can become a better person in construction. You can become a better, best person in building something new. You can create new technologies. You can create something. It doesn't really have to be a spiritual coach. If you are meant to be a spiritual coach, if you are born to be a spiritual coach, you will evolve to this. You will overcome the fear of public speaking. You will overcome the fear of who you are. You will overcome to be open to everybody. You're going to learn how to be a vulnerable. Most of the people won't do this because they're not meant to be. But you can use the energy if you are, for example, if you're a painter and you do a great paintings, you can go ahead and create a magical, incredible paintings. You can go put them in the gallery. You can make a crazy money, for example. With this crazy money, you can go ahead, get the half of it for you. The other half, you can go ahead and support, for example, poor communities, or you can go ahead and uh, something about a medical, or you can go ahead and help older men, or you can go and go to another poor country, is help them to rebuild houses because people have no houses to live in. There is so many things you can do, but if you really trust your soul about it, what do you need to do on? Okay, let's see. Uh, Hi, Kate. Rashid. For 2 years, I thought my catalyst, my twin, he was the reason for my clinic. When I met the real twin, I can say it's totally peace in the soul and a great love between us, and we both know. Yes, Rashid, that's how it is. I'm glad that you're experiencing the internal part of the soul. That internal peace, it has no words. You can describe it. You can see her or you can see him. That inner peace can put you instantly and going to sleep, physically to sleep. You feel this inner peace that walks inside of the soul, and then that peace, it relaxes every part of your life and relax every situation that comes in. That is the gift. That is the gift of the twin flames love, is the shared inner peace in the soul that coexists with both. And I'm glad that you have it. Um, I met my twin flame 25 years ago. I just came to realize this relation is a twin flame connection. Never understood what it is. Was out of ordinary. Some people realize things down the road. Some people realize the things. Some people they rejected someone back in life, and they come back and they see the things differently. So it's a very uh, kind of like a before you do anything, you gotta be a human being. If you're not a human being, that part of you as a human soul, and you do things that are totally, totally, totally bad, that will affect you one way or another down the road. You're gonna feel the guilt and the shame of what you did. So don't feel the guilt and shame, but see what you can do about the current situation. Because the current situation is what you need to work on it now in the present. But with looking at for directions from above, for our directions for a better life, how the things can be better even after the damage was done. And most of people, they're not going to feel sorry about their actions. Um, Justin, my false TF opened the door for me to find the real one. Justin, something happened with my video feed. Um, and I don't know what is the problem, probably because it's past 1 hour for it. So you will see. The universe can guide you from one place to another place to one place to one place to one place until you get to the place where you need to be. So if you're one of this person, you gotta be happy of what the situation goes on to it. Interview. Thank you. Hi, Dio. Chat. So mhm. Hi, Naga. So any of you have any questions? Did I miss any questions? Uh, 1 second. Somebody's asking me. They say the chat doesn't work. I will see why. Guys, give me a second. I want to see why did the chat doesn't work. Okay. Okay. If you are not able to send me a chat, uh, uh, try it again to see if you can send me. I don't know if I was able to fix it, but I seen uh, Natalia Knyazova. Hey, Natalia, can you write it again because I have a hard time scrolling to the chat. If I missed your questions, was you say it was in 20 minutes? That's kind of like a very first one. Could you please rewrite the question because I missed it? Let's see. My twin flame who I met 25 years ago, he's married. We were engaged before he met his current wife. Uh, he has been married for 20 minutes, but we have a spiritual connection. We'll still do, but we had a such question. Uh, so, hmm, I need to look at it. Why people says they cannot message me here? I need to find something. Because I need to look. A few people cannot answer the question. Hey, Leon Cross, can you try to put a message now? See if you can do it. Uh, Technical difficulties. Sometimes these things are. Okay, Leon, thank you. My twin, Sissy Andres, my twin flame, I can feel when it comes to my country, I can feel his presence. He comes regular for business, but we don't speak. Um, you need to understand the communication is it's part of the twin flames. If there is no communication, it's probably not your twin. Oh, hey, Carmen, how are you? What is that I get along very well along with person I'm dating now that I don't contact with my twin? He's married. Why? Because Carmen, you're open. See, you're open. You're open to give something to someone who you open it up and they don't understand. See, a lot of the people when they open their love and that love is not expected, they have the need to give love. The most of the spiritual people who get in awakened with the soul vibrations, they have the need to make it good, to help people. This is their nature. They have a naturally need. They don't need reasons. If you do the things from reasons, then you screwed up. You do it because you are naturally. It comes from inside. You don't need the reasons. It's the same thing. You don't need a reason to love. If you have a reason to love, that's not love. That is a controlled environment of love vibrations. That's not love. If you have a reasons to love, you set yourself in failure. You love for no reason. That's what unconditional love is. Because if there is a reasons, there is a conditions. One thing followed another. If there is no reason, there is no condition. So it's unconditional. So um, my TF is the most beautiful thing in my life ever. It's not because we are physically together, because we are not. Uh, because we are not. But because we are next to each other when we need it the most. Every time, every day, please tell them my love. Yeah, um, you will understand this magic of being next to each other. The magic of love you, baby. This magical part of love. When you love someone in a so high level that the space between, like the physical separation, it's not in the issue. But the physical separation is more for the identifications and for the love. Most people know what love is. They think they know what love is. They haven't understand what love is. The love is when you wake up and you feel them and they feel you. The love is when you pick up the phone and you say, "Hey, how are you?" And they send you the love sign, or they send you the things they needed to send you, or they do the right things of the stuff. The magical part is when you have the same dream. You have the same dream, and when you wake up, you share the same dream. The magical part of love becomes when they do something and you know what they do, and they tell you, "Yes, that's what I did." There is a one part of this love. There is magic. When the souls comes together in love and they breathe together in the universe. You taste that love. You get into that touch deep inside of the space and time. You understand the love is forever. There is nothing can kind of like get you out of it. And that will bring the inner peace. For some, that inner peace, because it's so high, they're gonna ask you, "Are you on drugs?" No, you're not on drugs. The love and the internal peace is the drug, because that's what your soul has been starving all this time, to get to this time point of space of you to become one within the universe. And that internal peace is your new way of life, of love so high between the two individuals that they unite themselves within the universe. I mean, you can't, that love can help solve many problems. I mean, many problems. I mean, issues with kids. You can get advice from your twin flame for your kids. You can get it in advices, uh, how to proceed with certain stuff. You can get energy help. You can get motivated. Sometimes you can get slapped. Oh, yeah, you can get slapped for not doing the right things. And you'll learn it. You will learn it. But you know what? That mutual, beautiful love in between helps to overcome absolutely everything. It doesn't matter if it's a good, it's a bad, or it's ugly. And I'm so happy that I'm able to experience this relationship because this relationship means everything to me. This relationship is something I wish everybody understand. But we find out that even the people that we telling this, they're not capable of understanding. They're not. And the sad part is the people who think they are, they continue to bring different things, different situations. And it's so hard when you are at this kind of level and you try to helping people's up, they don't understand. That's, that's why you have to work on yourself and develop that love. Because the love that is inside of the souls, it's unimaginably incredible. People think that they know love. No, they don't. Because that love is completely unconditional. Gives the freedom, peace, and everything else. Love you, baby. Okay, let's see. Any chat? Yes, it's powerful. We always feel so blessed with the divine connection and our ability to handle everything so well. Uh, we do get off track, and our love always brings us back together. Yes, the love is gonna bring you back together. There is gonna be this pull and push between. Um, every time one of the things they need, they're not quite right because we're working in the 3D. You need to understand. Sometimes even I'm amazing of all the 3D stuff that goes on in my life right now. There's so much, so heavy, and I handle it with very, very kind of like an easy light. But so is my twin. She does it incredibly well because it doesn't matter how hard it gets. We, throughout the love, we are able to handle everything that goes on in life. And that handling is what everybody wants. You to be able to handle all the obstacles in life and get your hands together and solve everything that you need to solve about it. Okay. Amrit Kaur, dear hi, you are happier with the love you have now. You have gotten over the past lady you thought you was your twin. Hoping you might have questioned I'm in this situation too. Amrit, I'm not just happy right now. It's more than that. I'm not happy because we are on two different continents. Now it's a coronavirus and we can't go in there. See what happens so it's the very first one that wakes you up. It's just teaching you what love is. Just to point you out the directions. It's more like catalyst. Yes, it will bring you pain, it will bring you stuff, it will bring you bad memories of it. Maybe could be a damage from this. I'm talking about damage as far as an emotional damage, but when you meet your twin flame, the damage is going to begin to go ahead and repair, rebuild, and you will feel how the healing from your twin flame is much more stronger than anything out in the world. For example, she came in, she just touched my face right here. That began to heal very quick, very quick. In, you need to understand that whatever love is, wherever the love goes, that's where it grows. Uh, there is still so much things people think about the twin flames. There is a lot of websites. There is actually one website that they do a lot of service. They say we guarantee you we're gonna bring you a twin flame. You pay us this amount of money. You do this. Uh, we'll guarantee you. And I spoke to some other people like that, and I say this is BS. But I cannot be a policeman for the twin flame community. See, you have a soul that determines what it is. Now, there is a lot of people who taking advantages of the desperations and the twin flames. But I'm so happy that if you find your twin flame right now, if you find the person you want to be forever and ever, you will have the dreams of the merge and the soul. Like imagine like two galaxies are merging together. He had a dreams who's keep repeating for the past 2 3 days. I'm sharing something personal now. I see her picture and my picture, like they're out in the space in the universe, and you know, galaxy kind of like a spins. Okay, so something is pink, and our images mix from within, and the merge is so incredible and feels that like merging's everything. But when you wake up, when you get into this, out of this, you feel like organized chaos. Okay, uh, like you coexist in so many places at the same time, and at the same time you have to deal with the things you need to do, like cooking, washing, do some work, and so on and so on. And you'll know when you meet your twin flame. You'll know the actions determinates everything, especially when the actions are within backup within the universe. And those vibrations are high. A lot of the people that tell you deal the things that you say they're way above our head. Well, bump it up. That's all I can tell you is just bump it up. Do your inner work, bump it up. Carl Lucidio, how do I learn I trust the universe again after a TF journey? You always have to trust the universe. I don't trust love. There is your problem. Or my heart anymore. This love you talk about seems so far away now. Just keeping working on myself. Yes. You need to, Carl Lucy, you need to love yourself before you love anybody else. That is the most important part. If you don't love yourself, how would you expect someone to love you? Is this is only once in a lifetime when the TFs unite in 3D or in several times? Natalia, uh, if you can give more informations, because this is kind of like a confusing question. Uh, if this is only once or a few time union in 3D, you need to understand the union in 3D is a lot of stages. You not just go out there, you unite in 3D with your twin flame. If you haven't cleared the 5D, the 4D, your union it's kind of like a heart. So you have to go back and fix the 3D and the 5D and the 4D. You have to do the separation purification process until you break the limitations and you come out and you start building the part of the 3D. This could be a divorce issue, this could be a financial issues, this could be our coronavirus issues, this could be a anything. But they are there in a place so you can go ahead and purify yourself. And when that purification is there, all of a sudden you're gonna feel pure. And that's why I don't know what do you mean behind the words, Natalia. I mean, it can happen several lifetimes. Uh, the union in 3D can happen several lifetimes. The union in 3D, it all depends of the journey and the people of their destiny. See, we all given the same opportunity as the same way it says in the Bible, for the people that going back into the portal, back into the paradise, many will enter, only few can enter. Why only few? Because only few dare to go and do the inner work to do it. You can't just be sitting on your butt and you're trying to create the issue. Like, for example, if you want to buy a house, you can't just sit on your butt and says, well, I have to buy a house. Guess what? You have to go ahead and see what it means to be buy a house, what it means to make a house, what it needs to be done, what is the proper way, what is the right things. You're gonna do a research, you're gonna learn the things, and so on and so on. But some of the people, they just expecting the miracle. The miracle is you. You don't do the inner work, you ain't gonna expect to have anything else. So, 3D union can happen several lifetimes. Uh, Once the level of consciousness is ready for the 3D union, is ready. You will see when it comes to a 3D union, the things are not that easy as the people think that is. Because you have to overcome a lot of things. And you're going to get into this spiral effect that you're going to face the same situations over and over until you decide to break the cycle. As I talked about earlier in the video, the repeating cycle of the need of a union, uh, it has its purpose. The purpose is purification. Because the right thing is going to happen at the right time. You have to really trust the divine time. Okay. It is a sign of a twin flames when you constantly see repeating numbers, specific but contains in it the repeating numbers. The numbers are the numbers. You can see them all the time. Sometimes they increase, sometimes they decrease. Sometimes they're 1717. Most of it people talk about this. 1111, yes, that's the most famous thing, or its versions like for repeating numbers of it. Like yesterday, we were talking about something, and I show her, a picture, and all of a sudden, in the picture on the top it says 4,444. I'm like, look at this. 10, we were talking about one video. I see the video, and the video it's 1414, and the views are 33, and we're talking about something divine. So the numbers, you can go ahead. There is a lot of websites. If you need to learn why you see those numbers, You can just go to the Google and you put meaning of the number, put the number on it, and press search. And you will find some different websites, but you can read a few of them and you will find the one that matches your vibrations of that number in you. That's how that's going to be. It can constantly repeat in lifetime until you're in union. You have union. Jose, the things can repeat, yes, until you have the union. And the thing that I do now, so ever since we met, I'll give you a little example. Ever since we met, we talk about how we can build our life. We program this, we program that. We decide to go ahead and get out of this or that. We decide to go see a house. We create a mess. Why? Because we're trying to control what's going to happen. Then we abandon all this project. And a month later, we come back to that project. We worked on it. We see that we can't do anything. Another month passed by. We go back to the same thing. Purchasing a property. We went out, look at houses, look some informations. We have to wait. We can't do nothing about it right now. Another month passed by. We haven't surrendered yet. This part of buying the property. So we can be having a property there. Because you have to have a house where you want to live. You can't just go out there and leave. Then another month passed by. We got this situation. This situation reoccurs all the time. Like a magic. It just appears out of the nowhere. It shows on the front of our doors. Like you guys haven't solved the problem. But here's the thing though. As I said earlier in the video, it's like a labyrinth. And that labyrinth, every time you go back to the same issue, you have to begin act differently. Okay? You can't just go out look for a house if you don't have a mortgage. Get yourself a mortgage, then you go buy a house. See what you need to do about a mortgage to get a house. See what you need to go out and do the things. Okay? There is old Bulgarian saying, it says like this: don't put the fry pan with the oil and heat it up when the fish is still in the sea. And that's why a lot of the people we do this. And we have to learn that the time and the place and the events happens when you are ready. And the last time when we were talking about this issue, I felt that we are ready for it. This time I feel different about all this part of buying a property. Totally different. It's a different case, it's a different situation. I don't looking at the same way we were looking at this before. So that's what the things are. Does anyone else have a questions? Oh, hi Fernanda, long time no see. Fernando, it all depends of what you mean by unite or not. Physically, no, but in soul, we are very much, very, very powerful, Fernando. So, you'll see. Jose, my twin flank knows we have a deep connection, but doesn't want to surrender nor accept we are something beyond explanation. She's very attached to the 3D world. Is that normal in the twin flame connections? See, attachment in the 3D can drag the connections down. You have to look at it, Jose, her situation. Uh, there is something with the females that you need to understand the fight of survival. I don't know if your twin flame Jose's got kids or not, um, but the part is you need to learn that the fear of survival into the physical world can drag her to be so much in 3D, so she doesn't see the soul part. Maybe she's young, uh, she hasn't evolved, she doesn't understand. Maybe what it does is a lot of the women's, they are only for the material part, for the providing. They want to make sure this is the old pattern, someone to provide stuff. Because back in a 3D, the female looks for someone who to be provider for the family, provider for the kids, provider for the care, for the love, for the sex, provider, someone who gives, so the female can be make sure she's been taken care of. So you gotta be very careful of the person that your twin flame is. Why just now look at her lifestyle? If she's, for example, making a less money, she's having a two, three kids. She will have a fear to leave the husband. She will have a fear if you're making less money, how you support her, how you support the kids. And this is the part of the communications between the twin flames that they understand. They look at that whole mess. They look at all these situations, and they find the right answer. My advice to you, Jose, will be is: do you ever have a honest talk with her? Did you ever have a naked talk? If she doesn't want to talk to you, she does not want to have nothing with you. Nothing. It doesn't matter whether you're trying to understand this or not. A lot of the women's, what they do is when they say no inside of them, they say no for so many reasons. The right one who will feel the love and the soul inside of them, you can't say no. You need to understand this. You can't say something when there is something. And you can fight, but you can't fight with love. You can fight everything else in this universe, everything. But you can't fight love. You need to understand that's what God is. God is love. You can't fight against God. Doesn't matter what you're trying to do. You can't fight against the universe. The universe will do what it's going to do. She's young, yeah, that makes sense. Exactly. I have, but she hasn't been receptive yet. She doesn't want it. So, yeah, that's what I thought, Jose. Uh, Hi, Projector, how are you? So, my advice to you, Jose, is just give her the time and space. And when you see her, don't get this intense vibrations. Seek the peace and soul that it's inside of you to come out and give her the peace and soul in her. That's what love is. That's what care is. You care for the more precious part. Like, for example, for my twin, I give her, she gives me that too. This part of care for the soul first. The most precious part is the soul. When we see each other, when we get together to each other, when we are next to each other, it's feel very awkward that sometimes, like for example, last night she ate a nice salad with tomatoes and a feta cheese, and I'm like, I could have tested them things. Like, no, tomorrow I got hungry. Um, but the soul, the pleasure of just sharing this part of life and brings into the soul. I mean, there has been so many crazy things that happen in her life and my life. And as soon as we see each other, as soon as we talk to each other, as soon as we connect to each other, it's this magical love. That it's that care in the soul. She cares for my soul, I care for her. And then the union happens, and then we are just in peace. Just in peace. You can't pay the price for this. It's worth to pay the price to went through the suffering. It's worth it to pay the price of the pain that you suffer. It's worth that pay the price of everything that you resolved until this moment. It's all worth it. But again, the inner peace in the soul, you take it from you, give it around. That's one of your missions as a twin flame. Okay. Bahaha, Jose. I'll do that. Thank you. Yeah, Jose. Wish you good luck, buddy. I hope everything goes well, you know. But my advice is let it go, and if she's belonged to you, she'll come back to you. Universe will let her know one way or another. And I given an example that when you met the person on a very high level, and the universe is present, there is no limitations in there. Fatima, thanks, dear. You're welcome. All right, guys. If you guys have no more questions or anything, let me know. Um, the key, care for the soul. Yes, darling. Exactly. That's the key. So if you guys have no more questions, let me know. If you do, write them down, and we'll talk more about it. Just guys, so you know, I'm here for you. Fatima, you helped me a lot. I let it go, and he came back after 3 months. He's now very different. Good. So you understand the power of let it go. Project Word, Earth. Dio, I met the girl in March. We had a deep connection. She's from USA. I'm from Europe. I thought she's my twin flame, but she went crazy after a little argument we had. She's dumped and goes full psycho. A lot of the people who want certain things for certain reasons, they go psycho. You need to understand. Plus, you don't understand American culture. If you live in Europe, you don't understand American culture. You have to live here like 20 years, plus to understand the culture that is here, and you will find things they're not pretty. It is what it is. I didn't say that there is no good stuff here in this culture. Okay, don't forget about it. There is no good and bad. There is only right, and if it's bad, you gotta think it that way. Okay, the bad is not good for the good, but the same thing, the good is not good for the bad. All they have to do is learn from each other to do the right actions. Keep repeating this part. A lot of people have issues with this. Uh, if you're open and you're looking for love, the best thing to do is surrender to the universe. And the Bible said, give your life to God. That is, give the will of your life to Jesus. But people don't understand the actual meaning behind the words. They don't. They don't understand that washing with water is to clear your consciousness so you can step into a new life. But you have to make a conscious decision within your soul. But don't attach yourself into the religion. Religion has not solved any problems in the past 8,000-9,000 years, because there are different religions. They don't look in it for unification in the soul. They create separations. It's the same thing like in a country. For example, take a look at the country. One country has like a 5 different parties, and they argue all the time, and they never consent, make conscious decisions of what the right actions for the country is, because everyone pulling in the 5 different directions. It's not going to happen. But if they all come together and work the proper way, and they become independent, and they don't become independent of what they are, then the things will be differently. This is why spirituality looks from each religions, and they take the best parts of those religions and they create it as a new spirituality that actually works. This is why spirituality works compared to the religions. The religions still fight. There is still fights about religions. Who is right, who is wrong, who needs to have this, who needs to have that. That's the reality. Project Earth, not sure she's my twin. If you're not sure, let it go. If she is one, you will know. Bry, yay, finally caught you live. Hi, Dio. Hi. Hi, Kate. And I woke up 3 years ago and have been following you since. Thanks, Dio, for everything. You're welcome, man. Ha ha, I'm a Bible teacher since 8 months. And you understand what I'm trying to say. I teach inclusions and love for everyone to my students. That's good. That's good. I didn't say the religion is bad, but I said that the religion hasn't solved the problems within the soul for generations and generations and generations. Some of the religions, they're created from ego mind perspective for control. They're not created for help. They're not created to give the part. They don't focus of the right things to come up. Hi, Marianne. How are you? So, any of you have any questions anymore? Joanna, 1111. Hello, Dio. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Project Earth. Dio, how do you feel raising vibration? I see people depressed as hell. Huh. Project Earth, the vibrations are felt, and the most people are in depression as hell, as you said, is because of the ego. The ego creates these expectations not meet, then the people go in depressions as hell, as you describe into it. Instead of looking at this a good way. Somebody doesn't want to deal with you, somebody doesn't want to love you, they don't love themselves. Why would they have to be with you? If they don't know how to love themselves, they're not going to know how to love you. They're not going to know how to love us. If you don't love yourself, how would you love somebody else? If you don't look at inside of you, I suggest for all those people who doesn't love themselves, there is a great video I made. It's a great exercise to learn to love yourself. It's called the Mirror Challenge. It's on the YouTube channel. You can go ahead, you can see it. I recommend for a lot of people who do not love themselves. Question is what part of yourself you don't love? You don't love your body, you don't love your heart, you don't love you as a soul. You need to understand the primary thing it is before you love somebody, you gotta love yourself. So that's my answer to this. What is the will be the person for a long periods? That long period of separations, they have part of realizing the truth. But the truth you realize very quick, right at the beginning, if that's your twin flame or not. The actions determine it. If there is no actions, you cannot determine it. See, the energy can exist, the energy can be there, but if there is no actions, then we haven't done anything. J-Lam, how does it feel to be in union? That is an amazing thing. See, you sit next to a person, and you have no pressure, you have no worries, you have no want, needs. You only have love. You have this mutual energy that bounds between you and unites you. Let's say, for example, you feel the need of the other person and you just do it. They feel your needs and they do it. They feel the energies inside of you. They finish your sentences. You have unconditional trust inside of them. This unconditional trust between each other, it's incredible, incredible. Yes, there's some things you have to work on it. And one of the things that you need to work on it, it's a remove the past relationship experiences. It do not, I repeat, do not compare them to what you have now. Naturally, you want to compare them. Naturally, you're gonna have a fear inside of you. Is this is really gonna work out? Is this is really the right thing? But deep inside of the soul, you know everything's gonna be fine. And that's how it feels in the union. That the person you're with is the same as you are. Can you imagine you have one same visions of how the world should be? And nobody understands you from the whole world except that one person. And one person understands you, where everyone has failed to understand them. Do you understand what the love is when that care in the soul, that love, that compassion, that it is no words to explain. Sometimes the feelings inside of this union love is way above amazing, way above anything and everything. What is going to hurt you is that the physical presence is not there. You want to have this physical exchange. You want to have this physical touch. And that, when that grows, it's going to come time when you're going to get that physical union. But the soul union, the union and soul, I wish this to everybody. Because the more people experiencing this inner peace and soul, those 5D vibrations within the universe. This crazy love and how makes the people feel when they're around you. How it makes the people understand and how this energy just makes the people better, makes them alive, gets them out of their shell, gets them out of their problems, gets them out of everything. It brings the soul, and they feel alive around you. This is what it feels to be in union. I can kind of like describe it. Physical union is like a normal relationship. Physical union, it's a normal relationship. You're working within the 3D. The only thing it is better 3D because you have the understanding gem from the 5D. Okay? House is not going to become um, a magical place. House is a house. House exists into the 3D. You gotta go to the job. You gotta deal with the 3D, but you have understanding in the 5D how to do the better job. Um, uh, you have to go shop to the store. Nobody can go just using your 5D telepathy and says like, I want this from the store, and all of a sudden arrives on the door. You gotta get your butt to the store. You gotta go shopping. Nobody can just go out and cook. Okay, you gotta get yourself cooked. It is a 3D relationship, but it's a 3D relationships with a 5D understanding. That's what it makes it perfect, the 3D. And that is the thing is you bring the heaven and earth. It's not gonna be. I mean, what do you need? You need the right things in the 3D to have a happy life. You want a happy life. Doesn't matter. You want to have palaces. A lot of people want to have palaces. Islands, yachts, and they think that this is the world. This is the paradise. Ask them if they have an inner peace and a soul. They will tell you no. You can't compare the two. But if you have the inner peace and the soul, and you have a decent house, decent job, you're a decent person, you are able to take care of the things for you and your family, for your kids. That's all you need. That's all you need. If you want to have more, if you're determined to have more, if you want to go out there and be rich or so on and so on, what are you going to do when you're rich? What are you going to do? Are you going to go help the homeless kids? Are you going to go help the poor minorities? What are you going to do? Or are you just going to collect money? Be a Scrooge McDuck? I don't know. But see, the 3D, you have to deal with it in 3D. You have to work within 3D with 5D understanding. Raphael Green, there is no topic, only questions. Jim, amazing, thank you. Bright, that's how it's for me, the first. Then the bubble love face. Thanks for the heart, Miriam. Is it true that people make fake twins before they unite? They meet fake twins before they unite with the twin flames. I watched some guy's video and he said fake twins come in our life sometimes before we meet the true one. Project Word, yes, that's what it is. I was 100%. I met my lost twin flame, but it ends she calling me a little bitch, so a little bit disappointed. Let me tell you something. The real twin flame will never, ever, ever, period, ever harm you. That's like harming themselves. She doesn't harm me, neither I harm her. if we have to say things there to give a different perspective or little slap here and there, we get the slaps here and there. I got my slap, but guess what? I don't take it like a slap in the face. This is just like orientation. Is deal. You have to look at it that way. You see what you missed. You see what you did. Or, for example, the way I do it is, at your job, you have to be a professional. Don't go like this. Just focus on the professional. See, that's what the twin flame says. You to know how to give them the best advice. So that way the connections between you two to be flawless. And you to help each other rise every time. Sometimes she brings me up, sometimes I bring her up. Sometimes we are balled down, sometimes we are balled up. But guess what? Every time we're going together. And that's what it makes the part. Very well, thank you. Always great to hear from you. Thanks, Miriam. You will know that is your true twin flame. Yes. Project work. Thank you, dear. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, guys. Anything else? I don't see any other questions. So if you guys are satisfied and happy, let me know. Thank you. I look awesome. Hey, that's what my twin flame says. Yeah, I look awesome. She accepts me as who I am. See, your twin flame will accept you as who you are. She's not gonna say you're old, you're this, you're fat, you're no. They're gonna accept you as who you are because they accept your soul. All right, guys. Well, thank you for the participation. Do you have email to contact you? Right on my YouTube on above corner and the top, you can see my Facebook. You can private message me on a Facebook. It's the same thing as email because I have a 67,000 emails and very heavy for me to answer by emails. It takes me a long time, but you can message me on a Facebook. That way I can see it. Any other things? Thanks, Fernanda. All right, guys. Well, thank you for being here. Appreciate it, guys. Just give you a little heads up. Next year, Jupiter is gonna entering Aquarius, and we're gonna experience a high level of consciousness rise up very quick. And prepare from now to you to be love. Whatever you do, every time, it doesn't matter what situations in life. My final message to you has always been a one thing: be love. But what did that mean? You to be love when something goes wrong. You to be love when something goes right. You to be love when everything is righteousness. But you to be love mostly in your soul, because your soul will determine your actions in life. Guys, love you. Be loved.